back to Tampa Bay's Media Talk. I'm here with Lindsey Norris, the Tampa Bay Film
Commission Manager, not Commissioner.
Manager.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. I had to get that right.
Yes.
So it was just your 1 year anniversary.
That's true, yes. Krista Soroka, our former film commissioner, left the office in August to join the Super Bowl host committee, and I took over her duties. I'd worked under her for a couple of years. So I just hit the 1 year mark, a little over a year, operating the office by myself, and it's been a wild ride, but a lot of fun too.
So give us a year in recap. What has happened so far? What are the ups, the downs?
Gosh, we've had some interesting things happen. Probably the most interesting thing, or the highlight of this last year, has been some of the legislative challenges we've had regarding our financial film incentive, and that's not so much locally, but on a statewide level. So we've been working very hard from a legislative perspective to try to bring some of those incentive dollars back to the state of Florida. So we're up in Tallahassee quite a bit. And then, of course, there's just the day-to-day stuff, working with local filmmakers, much like yourselves, and working with the productions that are coming in from outside of the market, the commercials and the photo shoots and catalogs and all that type of stuff.
Have you had a lot of positive feedback in the last year with the economy going in a downward spiral? Or?
Yeah, we always get positive feedback, which is the great part. We feel like once people get to Tampa, they always go, wow, this is a really beautiful place. It's affordable, it's cost efficient, it's aesthetically pleasing. You've got a great infrastructure here, a lot of crew, qualified crew at that. So we feel like getting them here is the challenge. Once they're here, they love it.
People in outside markets, they don't understand how talented the cinematographers, producers, directors, production companies, ad agencies are here.
I agree with you.
It's amazing.
110%, and that's part of what our job is, and we're charged with the task of really educating people about how talented our local crew members are, our local agencies are, our local production companies are, and we do spend a good bulk of our time doing that because, of course, we want to generate dollars here locally.
Are there any upcoming films? Have you guys had any leads trying to pull some people down here?
I unfortunately have to confess that we've recently lost 3 feature films, 2 to Michigan and 1 to Puerto Rico because of the state's financial incentive trouble.
I know. Michigan just opened up that great incentive plan, and all of a sudden one of my friends who's a cinematographer, they went to Michigan.
It's so true, and it's a great
Val
example
Kilmer
of
is in it.
Yeah, it's a great example of how fast the incentive can really draw production to a market. And how effective that can really be. And unfortunately, we lost the other film, the third film, to Puerto Rico because they, too, have a very competitive incentive. So we're not just competing with other states, we're competing with the rest of the world, too, which is a great challenge for us. So we have had some indie films in the market, and we'll, of course, continue to host those groups. We are just starting to work with a group now from Los Angeles who plans to shoot in the early part of January. So they're here right now in the pre-production phase. Don't want to say who they are, what they're doing quite yet because it's still kind of under wraps, but they'll be hiring a lot of local crew and, of course, accessing a lot of local locations, and we'll be there to work with them. And it's a small but viable project, and we look forward to them having a good experience here so that we can, again, trust them to come back and bring a larger project next time.
Well, the commute... pickups. Oh, yeah, I got Lindsey Norris's
My goodness.
Pickups, the country show. You got to be under 30, drive a truck, and talk swang.
Under 35. Let me make a
35.
correction. It's 21 to 35.
Oh, Jenny, you're available.
In case you don't know what we're talking about here, the Country Music Television, CMT TV, is in the process of casting a reality program here in Tampa.
That's awesome.
The show is called Pickups. That's not a joke. And you either need to be a gentleman with a pickup truck or a lady who likes gentlemen who drives pickup trucks.
Women love my truck.
Yes, I'm sure they do. And and they're casting women and men ages 21 to 35. I think they're casting one man and multiple ladies, I believe is how this is set up. But I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that part.
Well, that's good. You got a flatbed.
Yeah, what are you going to do? So they're shooting the show here in Tampa, which is of interest, at least to my office. The casting is, of course, interesting for the folks out there at home, but we're interested because they're bringing the production here, and they're also hiring a slew of local crew, which will be very interesting, too. So a lot of our local production community will have a chance to work on the program and then, of course, see the finished product on CMT.
Where's the casting at?
The casting is actually being done right now via email from Los Angeles to Tampa. So they're asking folks to send a picture to an email address, which I don't have in front of me, but I'm happy to get out. Do you have that maybe?
No, I don't have it either.
You flash that on the bottom of the screen or something? I don't know. But we do have an email address, and actually the casting call is on our website at filmtampabay.com, so you can always check it out there. With a lot more detailed information as well about where to send your headshots and all of that good stuff. So log on to filmtampabay.com for more information about that. But We're excited to have them here
That's
in the
gonna be
market.
fun.
Couple
How
more
long are they
weeks.
gonna be here for?
They'll be here for 3 days.
3 days only.
Only 3
Oh,
days.
that's not long.
Only 3 days. No, but I'm sure it'll be very valuable. At least we hope so. If not entertaining.
Well, it's not a feature film, but it's going to be very entertaining.
Exactly. And I should also mention too that feature films are of course great, but they really do wear and tear on our infrastructure. They monopolize a lot of crew for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And so Tampa has always been a commercial market, and for a lot of good reasons, because our infrastructure can handle that for short periods at a time. They come into the market for 3 or 4 days. They use and abuse our people, which is what we want. And you put them to work, and then they go home, and they get somebody new in town. So there's that constant refresher,
Right.
which is a good thing. I mean, there's a lot to be said for that too. So we certainly hope to continue to host
more
those
feature
projects.
films, more crew will be down here, so they don't wear them out so easily.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So we have a new film commission in the state of Florida.
We do, yes. Lucia Fishburne is her name.
And how do you like working with her? How's it different?
She's wonderful. Our old film commissioner, Paul Sermons, was wonderful too. And Lucia's great, and she came in at a great time because she's got a lot of experience. In her former life, she was with Workforce Florida and Enterprise Florida as well on a state level.
Okay.
So she knows a lot about economic development and a lot about putting employees to work, which is a vital part of this industry, obviously. We want to keep Floridians employed in the state of Florida. So she's been invaluable with that charge, and we really enjoyed having her around. And she's a nice person to boot, a lot of fun.
Now, how did she work with Governor Christ?
They get along just great. She's had experience with him before because,
Okay.
again, she worked for Enterprise Florida
Right.
and Workforce Florida in the past. And so they've got an ongoing relationship. And so I think there's a level of trust there.
Now, is Governor Christ, is he a film lover?
He is a film lover. He is also, in fact, he named film one of his top 3 priorities for his tenure as governor of the state of Florida.
People don't realize how much money film brings in.
You're exactly right. Last year when our film incentive was at $25 million, we had a $6 to $7 return on investment for every one of those $25 million. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but you do that
That's
math.
good money.
It's pretty unbelievable, actually. So we're encouraging our legislators right now to consider that equation and to do that math. And to realize how valuable the industry can really be. And even if the incentive is a small amount of money, we're down to $5 million this last year, which unfortunately wasn't enough because the money is gone at this point. We're only halfway through our fiscal year. Right. But if we can boost that back up to at least the $25 million mark, if not higher than that, we'll be competitive with other states and be able to get back in that race and, of course, bring more dollars into the state of Florida because, as you said, it's such a valuable industry.
Do you have any plans or events or meetings set up when the Super Bowl's down here and we have all the celebrities and Tampa for a week going to be huge? Is there anything planned that the Film Commission will do differently?
It's a tough time to plan an event because there are
Yeah.
so many other things going on and people are so distracted. And the good part about that is our local crew is working. So when the Super Bowl is going on, everybody's got a job,
working anyway.
which is great. And we're, of course, happy about that.
Yeah.
And so we want those folks to be doing whatever it is that they do, wherever it is they do it, involved with the Super Bowl. So that's probably not the ideal time to host one of these meetings. We just recently, on October 9th, had the Tampa Bay Area Film and Entertainment Summit over in St. Pete, and we had about 200 folks from our local production community show up to lend their support to our legislative efforts and to hear firsthand what's going on from Lucia Fishburne, our state film commissioner,
right.
our government relations specialist, Dave Caserta, who's essentially the lobbyist for Film Florida, and also for the president of the Industry Trade Association, Film Florida, Graham Winnick. So they got to hear it first. They hear it from us. You guys hear it from us all the time.
Yeah,
We're preaching.
I get your emails all the time.
We need help. We need help. We need help. But it's good to hear it from someone who really knows what they're talking about. The pros out there, and to kind of understand that message a little more clearly and understand some of the obstacles that we're facing in the near future. And I think it was a good chance to educate those folks, and we'll certainly continue to do so, but probably not around the Super Bowl.
All right, Lindsey, we have to wrap it up.
All right.
Last question.
Yeah.
What movie do you most want to see this Christmas?
Oh, I've got to see Marley and Me comes out on Christmas Day. And I have a secret about the movie that I cannot reveal right now, but I will be able to after the movie comes out. Let's just say the movie is linked to the Tampa Bay area.
Why?
I can't say that. I can't tell you why.
On.
No, I can't. But Marley and Me is the movie for sure.
Why do you want to see it?
Comes out on Christmas Day. Because I love golden retrievers.
Perfect.
It's a great movie. You'll love it.
Well, we have to take a break. Jen will be back here. She some just dropped on her head, so she may not be back here. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Tampa Bay's Media Talk and Media Mix brought to you by Tampa Digital Studios and sponsored by Creative Loaf. And Jenny needs a Listerine strip. Be back.